Before there was time, before the stars were hung in the sky, there was heaven, the dwelling place of the Almighty. Every sound was music. Every color shone with glory. Every being existed in perfect harmony. And among all the angels, one name stood out in beauty and brilliance: Lucifer, the bearer of light. He was the morning star, created in perfection, filled with wisdom and splendor. Lucifer's presence lit up heaven. His wings shimmered with gold and silver light, and his voice led the choirs of countless angels. He walked among the stones of fire, a guardian of beauty and worship. Every gem known to heaven adorned his form: sapphire, emerald, onyx, ruby, diamond, and gold. Lucifer was magnificent, flawless in appearance, gifted with melody and wisdom. But within that perfection, something began to grow. A thought, a whisper: pride. He looked upon his reflection in the sea of glass and admired his beauty. His heart began to question, why should all glory belong to the Creator alone? He thought to himself, am I not glorious too? Do I not shine as light itself? That whisper became desire. Desire became deception, and deception became rebellion. Lucifer's heart swelled with pride. He began to dream of a throne, not beside God, but above him. He said within himself, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation. I will be like the Most High. Heaven had never known pride until that moment. And pride, once born, spread like shadow through the halls of eternity. Lucifer began to speak to the angels. He said, brothers of light, why should only one be worshipped? Were we not made glorious too? Why should only he reign while we bow? Some turned away in sorrow, others bowed in silence. But a number, vast and shining, listened. They admired his beauty, his passion, his promise of freedom. And so a third of the heavenly host began to follow him. But there was one who stood in his way. Michael, the warrior archangel, unshakable and loyal to the throne. He approached Lucifer and said, Son of the morning, what madness drives you? Will you lift yourself above the one who gave you light? Lucifer's eyes blazed with fury. He answered, I will no longer bow. I will rise above his stars. I will rule the heavens. The sound of thunder filled the heavens. The golden streets trembled. And then silence, until the voice of the Almighty spoke, There shall be no other God before me. And in that moment, heaven erupted into war. Michael and his angels rose with swords of fire. Lucifer and his followers clothed themselves in flame and fury. The skies of heaven were torn by light and shadow. The sound of wings filled the air. The clash of power, the roar of divine energy. Once these beings sang together in harmony. Now they fought in rage. Lucifer's beauty darkened. His light turned crimson. His heart burned with hatred. He struck against Michael with all his strength, crying out, I will ascend! I will not fall! But Michael, radiant with holy fire, lifted his sword and said, By the word of the Almighty, you are defeated. The voice of God thundered across the cosmos. How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. And in an instant, the light-bearer fell. Lucifer was cast down from the heights of glory. He fell through fire and cloud, through stars and void, his wings burning, his heart broken. The once radiant angel was now a shadow, a twisted echo of what he once was. He crashed into darkness, and silence filled the void. His crown was shattered. His music became screams, and the one who walked among the stones of fire now crawled among ashes. Lucifer became Satan, the accuser, the deceiver, the enemy of all that is good. And from the depths of his rage, he swore revenge. He said, If I cannot rule above the heavens, I will reign beneath them. I will destroy his creation. I will corrupt his image. And so, when God created the earth, a new world full of beauty and life, Satan watched from the shadows. He saw man created in the image of God, pure and filled with light. And he hated it. He hated what he had lost. He hated what he could never be again. He whispered, If I cannot ascend above him, then I will bring his creation down below me. From that moment, a war unseen began, not in heaven, but within the hearts of men. For every soul born carries a spark of light that Satan seeks to extinguish. But even in his rebellion, he could not undo the will of God. For long before his fall, the Almighty had written redemption into eternity, a promise that one day a greater light would come, the true morning star, who would crush the head of the serpent and bring light back to the fallen. Lucifer fell, but God's plan never failed. The light of heaven still shines, brighter, stronger, eternal. And even now that light calls to you. There is still a war between light and darkness, and your soul is the battleground. So choose light, because even when the morning star fell, the true light of the world rose, and his kingdom will never end. If this story moved you, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more biblical stories that reveal the mysteries of heaven, earth, and the unseen realm. The story continues in the rise of man and the deception in Eden.